Okay, we're live on the air. So,
Right.
um, hi, Suzanne. My name is. I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. To talk about Sasha, see how we can help. I just want you to know that I feel that you're the expert, and so I'm here to kind of help develop a plan. But really, I'm going to look for you for guidance and suggestions, and letting me know what has worked or what your goals are, and just that. So. I'm not here to lead as much as I'm here to assist, if that sounds okay to you.
That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Good, good. So tell me a little bit about Sasha. I know she's a 12-year-old girl, but I don't know much else about her. So what do you feel her strengths are?
Sasha's extremely outgoing. She has a really easy time making friends. And all of her friends, always talk about how she cares for them and is really, and very loving and caring. And she also is really eager to please everybody, her friends, her family, her teachers. Which can sometimes be it can also be a tough thing to have as a quality. She really enjoys a lot of things. And so I think if we look at some reward-based things that maybe I'm already thinking about, I think it would be easy to find a reinforcer for her.
Oh, good, good. And, Suzanne, just to kind of touch base, I will be talking with her teachers, and we'll have that meeting coming up with all of us as a team. But just in your own opinion, do you feel that the characteristics and her strengths are kind of across the board with everyone, or are they isolated just for you?
No, she really is pretty. She's really consistent. I've gotten lots of good reports, kind of mirroring the same things that I just told you from her teachers, from her new play director as well. So
that sounds like something that's going well. So tell me a little bit about that. She's in a play.
Yes, yeah, she's really been nagging her father and I to get her involved in acting, and it's something I really want to help her foster. And she just tried out for the school play, and she got the lead part.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So that'll really kind of, help her be more social, but it'll put one more thing on her plate, huh?
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, that is one more thing on her plate.
Yep. So as a parent, what are your goals for Sasha? Let's think about short term and long term, and then really what would you say your goals are?
For in the long term, I just want her to be successful. I want her to be happy. As far as obviously every parent wants that for their child, but as a short-term goal, I really want to focus on her getting all of her assignments done, her homework assignments done every night. That seems to lately be a problem.
Okay. And do you feel it's a problem because of the workload, or because she's not able to do the work, or is it some other reason there?
I don't think it's that she doesn't want to do the work. I just think there are some things that are getting in her way. I think she's stretching herself a little bit too thin.
Okay, so she's got the ability to do the work. She's just finding roadblocks along the way. Perfect. Okay, good. Good. That will kind of help me kind of wean out what we need to target and how to help her best. Okay. So what do you feel are some of the things that get in the way of her being successful in completing her homework each night?
She really sort of tries to please everybody, and so she knows that homework is one of the priorities, but she also has, her duties at home for us, her chores and things that she needs to do there, and she doesn't sort of prioritize herself. She kind of puts her friends first a lot as well, and then also her practices now with the play. She really wants to uphold her commitments to her friends, and, a 12-year-old girl, she just got a phone, so there's texting, and there's Facebook, and there's all those other things.
Gotcha. So that sounds like, not only does she have a lot on her plate, but those are some typical barriers for success for 12-year-old girls. But let's really kind of talk about what I'm hearing you say is that really the priority and the focus needs to be on her getting those assignments done on a consistent basis, having them done nightly, kind of working on prioritizing her own welfare through her grades and her own homework above other things. Does that sound about right?
Yes, that's the priority, definitely.
Good, good. Well, then it sounds like the target behaviors that we're going to focus on as we work together is that homework assignments. And, you know, I think it'll be important to get the teachers and get the play director in there, because that may help with some of those reinforcements that you talked about, wanting to please everyone. And I'm sure she doesn't want to let her cast members down and not being able to continue play, but if she doesn't keep up her grades, that could be a barrier, definitely.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about, do her teachers see her turning in her assignments or not turning in her assignments, or is it just kind of isolated to you and that's where the struggle is for homework?
You know, I know that her grades are overall good, but where I mainly see the behavior is at home, you know, after school. I think that if there are assignments in class to be turned in that are completed in class, she does that. But it's when she's at home and her time is limited, it's at night and also on the weekends, you know, when she has other commitments, social commitments, or play practice during those times at home.
Okay, okay. So that's good for us to note that, you know, it's not that it's good as isolated at home, but at least we're figuring out that we can target one place and hopefully that it'll generalize, or that the problem isn't across the board everywhere. So what have you tried at home to help with this problem? I'm sure you guys have done a little bit of stuff before.
Yeah, we've tried a little bit of everything, I guess. You know, we're able to look at her homework submissions online,
Okay.
but a lot of times Sasha sort of mediates that, and she'll say that, you know, oh, that assignment has changed, and that it really isn't due on that night, or that, oh, she's finished it at school, but maybe just the teacher hasn't entered the grade yet. So I don't really feel like that was reliable. Or, oh, she can't do this assignment tonight because her book is at school. Gotcha. And that hasn't really worked. You know, we also sort of talked about taking away her ability to be in the play. And you know, that we sort of threatened with that, and she, you know, was very resistant to that idea, obviously. But really her drama instructor sort of emphasized how well she was doing, you know, and how talented she is, and how it would be a really good thing for her to do. So I don't know that that's the right route.
Gotcha.
We've also tried just maybe limiting her, you know, internet access, hopefully decreasing all that time on Facebook and sort of like that. But, you know, she sort of says, well, I have to do my homework online, so I need my computer, Mom.
Okay.
And so that really hasn't worked either. And, you know, my husband and I don't like to do any sort of grounding or anything, but, you know, sometimes we'll say, you know, if you don't do this, you'll be grounded. But things come up on the weekends that I don't want to take from her. I don't want to take those opportunities from her, and so I don't think I've been consistent with that.
Gotcha. So, you know, it sounds like you guys have tried a lot of things. It sounds like you're very positive, and knowing kind of what the barriers are and what the limitations are to kind of restricting access to preferred items. What I think would be very helpful is just to kind of collect some very concrete data. The reason being is this is really going to help us see, is this a nightly problem, which you're saying it is, and I'm sure that there are, but is she doing all of her math homework, or is she doing all of her social studies homework, or is there one subject that she's not doing well in? So do you mind if I put together some data sheets, or just actually it's going to be one? I know you're a mom, I know you're juggling lots of things, so I don't want to throw much more on your plate, but I think that would be very helpful just to give us a little bit more structured information to go off of. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think that sounds something that my husband and I can do.
Okay, so my thought is to have a data sheet, and then you just kind of go through, and what I'll need from you is to provide just a list of the different classes that she's in, and that will be helpful. You can email me just a list, and then what I can do is put together so we can just have a checklist: homework completed, check, or homework not, you know, or a negative. So it was either a plus or minus. That would probably be easiest. And then if it's a minus, or she kind of gives you an excuse, left the book at home, said no homework tonight, or kind of what it is, and how does that sound? That really sounds like we might be able to pinpoint exactly maybe what's the problem, or what she's not doing the most. Right, and I think it will also help us have some ability to then go in and discuss with the teachers and maybe get you access to syllabus, or give you access to their lesson plan, so that you know exactly, hey, she's really not doing her homework 75% of the time. how can we help you get the rates up, which will in the end increase your grades. So, well, good. I'm glad that we're kind of in agreement. And at any point in time, if I make a suggestion or I give you an idea and you're like, I just can't do it, or that doesn't sound like something that we'd be interested in, please make sure that you're letting me know that. I don't want to give you something that's not going to work for all.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
Good, good. So I think the next steps will be the data sheet, and I'll get those. Well, first you're going to give me the list of classes. The second thing then would be to provide you with that data sheet, and then I think we'll take data for a week. You and I can touch base again, and then we'll set up for the school maybe in a week and a half or 2 weeks, and that'll give us some time to kind of tweak the data if we need to, or really see where we're at with things. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Yeah, I think that'll give us a good timeline, even if we, I'll try to get to those classes as soon as I can, but that gives us a couple of days of a buffer in case I can't get that to you right away.
Oh, absolutely. And you have my email, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will go ahead and put a summary email together, include her teacher, if that's okay with you. I've gotten the release of information so that I'm able to send stuff electronically. Is that, and then I'll make sure that you're included just so the teacher knows what our steps are here, and then we'll go from there.
That sounds great. I'd really like her to be a part of this as well, obviously, because we'll need to have some communication regarding her homework assignments and whether they're submitted, so that'll be helpful.
Right, and a team perspective is always the way to go. As I said, I'm here to aid and assist, but really, following your lead and your guidance on things. So, perfect. Well, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day, and we'll work together to get Sasha back on track and, not only being successful in the drama department, but also in the classroom as well. So.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.